This is the default player background. I like to make it a little brighter just so I can see that when I'm moving clips, if I have something off. And I also like to have a little spot so I know where the top of heads go, so I can keep them roughly at a consistent height. I'm going to start by zooming in on myself slowly instead of just a static, boring still shot. Let's do 590 and then 860. I'm going to zoom in a little bit. The question is going to be down here, so I don't want to cut off too much of us. That's why I'm moving this up. But also, I want the heads to be near this same spot for the entire video. Let's do like 13% increase in size. Pop that over there. Come here. Now we're focusing on the guys. Guy in the gray shirt speaks first, so I'm putting an anchor point closer to him. Hopefully that directs our eyes there. Put their heads roughly where it was before. Zoom in on this. 34, I'm gonna go like, sure, some random. I don't want it to be too far from bump it up some more. I'm gonna check my keyframes. And now this guy in the gray speaks. So I'm gonna have it zoomed in on him. And his head moves a lot, so let's fix that. Didn't mean to shorten it. Zoom in on the timeline a bit more. Put the head in the same spot.
Alaska.
It's decent. Zoom in on the other guy when he speaks. Something like that. And then I'm again going to zoom in on myself, so I'm going to anchor point that. Bam. I'm going to start zoom. I don't know why. You didn't need to type in the X and Y like I did up top, just to force a habit. I'm going to zoom in on myself here. That's probably a little much. Come out a little bit. Next clip, I'm going to start zoomed in on this guy. Less than that though, for sure. Okay. And then a clip of us. Try to center us up. Keep the heads near the top. And then let's see what we got here. So the next question. I'm going to zoom in on myself. Put the anchor point there since I'm zooming in on that. And probably not starting in the center, so I don't need to put us at 0. Yeah, definitely not. The head's too far. So I'm going to start a little zoomed in. Maybe like 115, 112. No. About right here. Grab this. Put it to the end. Zoom in a little bit, push it back towards center because camera was being handheld here, it looks like, and it kind of got off center a little bit, or just us as people, we moved. Contestant answers, nice and tight on him.
Hawaii.
He's too far to the right, put him more in the center. Something here, I think it's a back and forth between him and I. And put the anchor point up here so that if I do decide to zoom in on this clip, it's right up next to our heads. Probably get a little tighter. Something like that.
Hawaii? Hawaii. Are you sure about that? Yes.
Alright, so here it's going to be a little bit of a back and forth, like full shot.
Hawaii. Hawaii? Hawaii.
Actually, I'm going to leave that.
Are you sure about that? Yes.
I'm going to have this be a clip of me. Let's see. Dropped a keyframe on accident.
About that? Yeah.
Shot it, dude. These keyframes are driving me crazy.
Wrong. Ah, you got
Roughly that. Trim all this fat.
Hawaii. Hawaii? Hawaii. Are you sure? Hawaii. Are you sure about that? Yes. Wrong. Wrong. Ah, you got that wrong. Ah, you got that wrong.
I like to hide these cuts.
You got that
I
wrong.
like to hide the cuts with frame switches. So I'm going to be zooming in on myself. So I put the anchor point there.
You got that wrong, so your game is over. But if you're currently following me, I'll let you keep playing.
This one I actually might zoom out, since I'm kind of talking about him.
I am not currently.
Delete that. Oh, this is perfect because I want it to be a zoomed out clip anyways. So I'm going to put it right here. You notice my head's a little higher, just trying to get his head closer up to the border.
I am not currently following you. What U.S. state?
Me asking a question, I'm going to be doing a zoom in on myself, so I'm going to put the anchor point there. So what I'm doing right now is I'm typing in the exact anchor point into the position, because this on Final Cut, the new anchor point is the new origin, the new 0, 0. So if I want the video to start back at 0, 0, I need to put in that, but I don't do that. I don't need to, because I'm going to start with the video zoomed in so I can move it where I want. I do it just because it's a force of habit. I used to need to do it a lot. Alright, there's that.
Hawaii.
Hawaii.
Probably going to make these separates. So now, just going to do a zoom. Just a tight shot on each contestant. Her answering. Him answering. Hopefully these are the same, or pretty close to. They're off by 2%. Same scale.
Is that your final answer?
Zoom this in, push it up closer to us. Don't need to be at 130 though. I feel like that's too tight on the sides. 120 looks fine.
Is that your final answer?
When you ask,
A long spot of him talking. I'm going to put an anchor point on him just in case I need to zoom in on him. If I don't need to zoom in on him, then putting the anchor point there is kind of useless. Put them both next to each other in case she says something.
when you ask that, I have a feeling it shouldn't be.
Okay,
but
so it's
yeah,
just
let's
him,
do
so
it.
I'm going to go back and probably will zoom in on him since it's quite a long bit. So 197, let's go to 220, 230. That should look good. Me saying that they, I don't know what I say here. Zoom in though, try to put the heads closer to the top.
That's wrong. It was
So
the
my
last-
text is going to go in the middle of this screen, so it doesn't matter if it gets cut off. So I'm going to put this back up here. I'm putting my head a little bit higher since in the last shot we were just looking at him and his head was right on that white border. So it's going to be more natural if his head's closer than if I put my head there and his head's further.
It was
Copy
Alaska.
and paste this.
It was
This
Alaska.
is a great example of, you know, trying to keep continuity in the shot between these cuts.
That's wrong. It was Alaska.
Sometimes I talk about wanting to hide the cut with a jump. Sometimes I want to keep it continuous. In this instance, I'm not really sure what I'm preferring.
That's wrong. It was Alaska. Wrong. It was Alaska.
So I don't want to put a jump here because I want his reaction at the end. And since I want his reaction at the end, I'm going to put a keyframe or put an anchor point up there because I'm going to zoom in on him. So now let's match this shot with the one from before. Something like that. Close. It's decent. So after I'm done speaking, I want to get his reaction. Alright. Me asking the question, so that's going to be a slow zoom into myself. So I'm going to put an anchor point on myself.
Well, that Hawaii.
What?
Are you sure about that?
What?
So just those two talking. It would be kind of really jarring to go from person to person to person to person. So I'm just going to try to keep them roughly center frame. That looked fine. I might add some keyframes to stabilize it. Keep them more centered than that. Next clip, mainly just me asking them.
Are you sure about that?
But they answer right away. So I'm going to keep it a group shot so that we can capture him saying yes.
Are you sure about that? Really sure about
Yes.
And I ask him the same question again. So this one I'm going to zoom out. And going to put a keyframe, or not a keyframe, put an anchor point up here, because I think in the next clip I'm going to need that anchor point. And I will copy this clip and I'll paste it here so that hopefully it keeps some, the consistency between clips there is good. So now that when I zoom in on this clip, because I want to zoom in on this one since I asked the same question again, kind of emphasize like, really?
Really sure about
Yes.
That looks good.
Like super sure. Like
Okay, didn't need that anchor point.
super. Like
Probably also don't need to do that. But I put an anchor point on my head in case I was going to zoom in on myself through this clip, this short clip.
like super sure. Yeah.
Right now, I'm zooming in on the other contestant.
Yes.
Yeah, that's wrong.
Gonna zoom out. I want to keep this shot really tight since it just came off of two tight shots. Keep the feeling consistent.
Yeah, that's wrong.
No.
There's no negotiation. It's just wrong.
Then what is it?
Alaska.
Then what is it?
Just wrong.
Switching up the frame. Gonna do a tight shot on him and a tight shot on me. Let's find a number we like. 200 works.
Alaska.
I don't want to do a tight shot on me because this is their reaction that people want to see.
That's horrible.
You got that wrong, so your game is over. But if you're
All right, now I need an anchor point on me because I know I want to zoom in on myself while I'm saying this little speech. Start the keyframe. God, I move a lot too. Let's watch that back to make sure I don't move in the weird directions.
You got that wrong, so your game
That's
is
fine.
over. But if you're
I might change it on a second watch, but zoom in, kind of hide that cut, make it seem like I said this just right away instead of having like 1 second break.
But if you're currently following, I'll give you a bonus life to keep playing.
Zoom in on them.
I am following.
Hawaii.
So I actually might
Hawaii.
restructure this part of the video where I ask about the bonus life, keep playing, just because I know what happens next. And what happens next
Hawaii.
is that contestant that was following me, I say like, hey, congrats, you were following me, you get to keep playing. And I think these cats get out, and I say that if you're currently following, you get to keep playing, but they're not following. So it might fit better after I say it to them and they're not. Instead of me saying it, he's following, and then this contestant answers Hawaii right away. It's just kind of jarring.
Hawaii.
Hawaii.
Your final answer?
No, it's Alaska. I think.
This guy goes on and talks about why he thinks it's Alaska, and it's kind of a long clip, so I'm going to zoom in on him during that clip. But I want like roughly continuity between these two, so I'm going to use an anchor point in the next clip. So I'm just going to put it on this one, and then paste the effects over to the next one. And now it's easier to zoom in on him.
Trying to think how
But I
far
am going to
away.
hide this cut with a bit of a zoom.
Trying to think how far west some of the islands in Alaska are.
Honestly, I might zoom out because she talks and I'd like to capture that.
Trying to think how far west some of the islands in Alaska are. Let's go with Hawaii.
Zoom in on him. Tighter than he was.
Let's go with Hawaii.
Actually, I will keep it on both of them.
Let's go with Hawaii.
Okay. Hawaii. Okay. Hawaii.
Hawaii.
Just gonna keep it on him.
Okay. Hawaii.
Wrong. It was Alaska. Wrong. It was Alaska.
Should have went with Alaska.
You guys got game is over.
So keeping the whole clip one angle, zooming in slightly, will get boring eventually, which is why I'm stopping this halfway through.
You guys got that wrong, so your game is over. But if you're currently following, you can keep playing.
Like I've seen your videos.
You can check if you want.
Like I've seen your videos.
You can. Check if you want. If you're currently following, you do.
Like I've seen your videos.
You can check if you want. If you're currently following, you do get to keep playing. You're not following. Third question.
Yeah.
The easternmost
Back to what I
point.
said earlier. So I'm going to put this up here so I know exactly how long that clip was.
All right.
I don't.
Three. Here we go. All right, you're following, so you get to keep playing. All right, you're following, so you get to keep playing. All right, you're following. You get to keep playing.
Didn't like that keyframe because I want his head to be in shot the whole time. So I'm going to zoom out when I move.
All right, you're following, so you get to keep playing. Third question.
Instead of putting an anchor point on the video before and then copy and pasting it over so that the spots are roughly the same, you can kind of just eyeball it, which is what you probably should do. It seems like it saves more time. Well, that's just not even close. Looks fine.
Give me Maine. Maine. No, Rhode Island. Rhode Island, final answer. Maine. No, Rhode Island. Rhode Island, final answer.
No, that's not right. The correct answer is actually Alaska.
Shorten those up so I can see exactly how long the clip is. Put this up here in case I need to zoom in at all.
No, that's not right. The correct answer is actually Alaska.
Hide that cut with a little zoom.
I don't like
I'm
this.
gonna zoom in on him. That anchor point's probably decent enough. Zoom in on him, try to pull him over here.
I don't like this game.
This one, zoom out a little bit. Gosh, 145.
I don't like this game.
Alright, go back through, remove like fat on the edges, make sure I don't have any pink spots showing, all that.
What U.S. state is furthest north?
Yeah, like it started slow. See that?
What you?
Oops. Delete that all.
What U.S. state is furthest north?
Alaska.
Felt
Alaska,
like this
yes.
is
The correct answer
pretty quick.
is
Alaska.
Alaska, yes.
The correct answer is Alaska. Yeah, that's
That
right.
down.
Yeah, that's right. What U.S. state? Right. What U.S. state is furthest west?
Hawaii.
Hawaii?
Hawaii.
Are you sure about that?
Yes.
Wrong. You got that wrong, so your game is over. But if you're currently following me, I'll let you keep playing.
I am not.
All right. Did not like the jump from one of those clips to the next, which is here to the next one. So, oh, perfect. Anchor point already on me. This is exactly what I wanted. I wanted to zoom into myself.
You got that wrong, so your game is over. But if you're currently following me, I'll let you keep playing.
I am not currently following.
Trim the fat.
I am not currently following you.
What U.S. state is furthest west?
Hawaii.
Hawaii.
Is that your final answer?
When you ask that, I have a feeling it shouldn't be, but yeah, let's do it.
That's wrong. Alaska. What U.S. state is furthest west?
Was that Hawaii?
Hawaii.
Are you sure about that? Really sure about
Yes.
that? Like super sure?
Yes.
Yeah, that's wrong.
No.
There's no negotiation. It's just wrong.
Trim
Then what is it?
the end. Grab it. There we go. The
Just
front.
wrong.
Then what is?
Wrong.
Then what is it? Then what is it?
Alaska.
That's horrible.
You got that wrong, so your game is over. But if you're currently following, I'll give you a bonus life to keep playing.
I am following.
Hawaii.
You got that wrong, so your game is over. But if you're currently following, I'll give you a bonus life to keep playing.
Thinking about cutting this, like I said
horrible.
earlier.
Hawaii.
Hawaii.
Is that your final answer?
No, it's Alaska. Trying to think how far west some of the islands in Alaska are. Let's go with Hawaii.
Wrong. It was Alaska.
Should've
Oh,
went with
that was
Alaska.
weird.
You guys got that wrong.
Go with Hawaii.
Wrong. It was Alaska.
Should have went with
What's going on
Alaska.
here?
You guys got that wrong.
I think the
You guys
frames
got
looks
that
the exact same, so
Alaska.
Should have went with Alaska. Should have went with Alaska.
You guys got that wrong, so your game is over. But if you guys got that wrong, so your game is over. But if you're currently following, you can keep playing.
Like I've seen your videos.
You can check if you want. If you're currently following, you do get to keep playing. You're not following. All right, you're following, so you get to keep
yeah, I
playing.
don't know if that feels better or
That's horrible.
You got that wrong, so your game is over. But if you're currently
Following.
probably take this
Hawaii.
off.
That's horrible.
Hawaii.
Hawaii.
is that your final answer?
No, it's Alaska. Trying to think how far.
Third question. The easternmost point of the U.S. is in what state?
Give me Maine.
What state?
Give me Maine. No, Rhode Island. Rhode Island, final answer.
No, that's not right.
Island.
No, that's not right. The correct answer is actually Alaska.
I don't like
Roughly
this
that
game.
looks good. Didn't see any severe issues with the white or the pink. Just disable them for now, but that's roughly keyframing. If you were confused about any of that, keeping the heads in the same height, anchor points, whole 9 yards, There's videos for each one of those specific topics.